What's up everybody, this is Derek from Sit Stay Sober, and in this video we're going to go over a technique or a concept that I had learned from dogs and how I applied it to getting sober and getting myself to stay sober. And the technique or concept we're going over is called MOE, an acronym for managing our environment. So with a dog, let's say they're barking at a neighbor or barking at the mailman. What we can do is figure out where they're barking from, and if it's a visual thing. So if it's visual, they're barking at the neighbor or the mailman through a window. What do? We shut the shades, okay, and close the blinds. So that way they can't have a visual reaction to the trigger, which would be the mailman or the neighbor. Let's say the dog hears things. What we want to do is, if he hears the neighbor outside, we can still close the shades, right? Maybe it acts like some sort of buffer to some sound. But what we're really going to do is we're going to turn the TV on and we're going to turn the radio on. We're going to put like classical or like slow tempo music, ambient music for the dog. That way it's drowning out the stuff that they would hear outside. So that's kind of like how we would apply MOE to our dogs, right? Simple concept, but this can be like very effective, and it takes a 10 behavior to a 6 or a 7, and then it's much easier to deal with a 7 behavior than a 10. So same thing with our strategy on trying to get sober. So for me, when I was getting sober from drugs, one of the first things I did using MOE was I got rid of my cell phone. Okay, my cell phone was filled with people I would buy drugs from, people who would do drugs, and people who would ask me if I wanted to do it with them or if I could get them drugs, right? So, and this is actually advice that I learned from dogs, but my father was also like, you got to do this as well, like get rid of that phone. And I was just like, all right, getting rid of it. And I threw that shit away. It was like a little freaking flip phone. And this is like 2011, 12-ish. And got rid of it. So then, for alcohol, you got to, for me, same thing as far as the phone. Stop hanging out with people that drink and that want to ask you to go party with them. And you don't need to be asked that or be a part of that, especially in the very beginning. But for drinking, it makes it, actually you can do this for both. What I did was, I made sure there was no booze in the house. Like, you know, some people have like a liquor shelf. It's like, I couldn't have a liquor shelf because that shit would be gone, you know? And I got rid of all that stuff. And one of the first times of me trying to be on recovery from booze, I forgot we had cooking wine in the cabinet, and I ended up drinking 2 freaking bottles of goddamn cooking wine because at midnight I was just like looking for munchies, and I ended up finding 2 bottles of wine, and I drank that to get drunk, right? So get rid of all of the booze, the liquor shelves. The other thing that you can do, or that I did, was I would get bored. Okay, so I'm just sitting down. I'm being sober, not drinking, but I'm being very bored. And there's the old saying, idle hands is the devil's playground. So I needed to like keep myself occupied. I hadn't played Xbox in like 10 years. Like I hadn't played in so long. And I just bought myself an Xbox, and I bought Grand Theft Auto, and I would just play video games. And this is like in the very beginning. I'm I just need to stack days of not drinking, so I'm gonna play video games. I'm in an environment that there is no booze, right? So, and I have my phone is completely, like, all the people that would try to drink with me, completely blocked. So just using MOE, I was able to just boom, 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 start setting up ways for my environment to set me up for success. So whether you're trying to think of how you would do that with your dog, or like how you want your dog's behavior to improve, or if you have a certain addiction or a behavior you yourself are trying to improve, I always think MOE, how can we manage our environment to set ourselves up for success? And hopefully you can kind of use some of these concepts to your own life and to your own dog. If you have any things that you did to manage your own environment, to set your own dogs up or your own recovery journey up, put it in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.